Hello muffins, it's Hazel. My pronouns are he, him. Welcome back to my channel. Today, we're gonna be learning how to make a candy necktie. But real quick before we get started, I just want to thank the sponsors of my channel. Tina Harris, Jennifer Sexton, Sensory Dragon, Lily Garofano, and Danny with Paws. Thank y'all so much for supporting my channel. If you'd like to join them as members of this channel and get early access to my videos, as well as shoutouts and custom emojis, just follow the link in the description down below. Anyways, guys, let's get started. So for our supplies, we've got our scissors, and then I'm gonna be using 1mm elastic cord. And then you'll also need 430 beads. So I'm gonna be using 430 of these indigo beads, but you can use whatever color you want. And then you're gonna need probably 25 feet of the string. And I also made a pattern for this tutorial, and I'm gonna put the link to it in the description. So if it's gonna help you to see the pattern, then it's there for you. And you can also open it up in the pattern maker if you want to like edit the design of it, to kind of like customize it. Anyways, on to the first step. So we are going to start with our 15-foot piece of string. I've just got it folded up and I'm just holding the two ends together. We're gonna do an odd peyote stitch, and it's gonna be 7 beads wide. So we're gonna start by putting 1 bead on each end of the string. Then put the two ends together and add on 1 bead. Then I'll add 1 bead on each end. Then I'll put the two ends together and put on 1 bead. Now I'll do 1 bead on each end. Put the two ends together and add on 1 bead. And then 1 bead on each end. Then we're gonna pull all these beads to the middle of the folded up piece of string, which is incredibly long. I don't think I've ever used a piece of string this long, but I really wanted to just not have to add string. So once we've got them all at the middle, we're gonna pull on those beads to tighten them. And you should be able to count that there is 7 beads across. So it's like 7 beads long. And that's going to be the width of our tie. So just keep in mind, if you decide you want your tie to be wider, because this is kind of a skinny tie at this point, if you decide you want a wider tie, then you just want to make sure it's an odd number of beads long. But I want mine to be 7 beads wide, so I am going to tie it off here. We're gonna tie a double knot. If you do make your tie wider, you're also gonna want to make the second piece we make later the same width. So just keep that in mind. We're making like the main piece of the tie right now. It comes in 2 pieces and then plus I guess like a third piece for like the necklace part. And this should be plenty of string for that. So I'm gonna take one end of the string and place it through the edge bead that's closest to me. Then I'll add a bead onto the string and put the string through the second bead over. Then I'm going to add another bead to the string and put the string through the second bead over. And I'm tightening it pretty tight. This isn't really something that I want to have a lot of like stretch or looseness to it. Now I'm going to add another bead and put the string through the second bead over. Now I'm going to grab that second string. I'm going to put it through the edge bead that's farthest from me. And then I'm going to turn it around and put it through the edge bead closest to me, going towards the outside. And that's going to get the string to where we can use it for the next row. So I'm going to add a bead onto the left-hand side string and then put that string through the second bead from the edge. Oh, the string is so long, it keeps getting caught on my foot. It's a little inconvenient, but all in the name of not having to add more string later. Alright, I'm gonna add another bead, and then I'm gonna put the string through the second bead over. Now I'll add another bead and put the string through the second bead over. Now I'll add another bead. And then to secure this bead on, we're going to switch back to the other string and put it through that bead going towards the inside. Just pull that all the way through. Oh, it's just getting a little tangled because it's so long. Okay. So now that should stay on. And onto that same string, I'll add a bead and then put the string through the second bead over. Now I'll add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Now I'm going to switch to the string on the right hand side, add a bead, and put the string through the second bead from the edge. I dropped a bead in my shoe. Anyway, I'm gonna add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Now I'll add a bead. And then we're gonna switch strings now. Using this much string is a little inconvenient. Alright, we're gonna take that other string and put it through the bead we just added, going towards the inside. Now I'll add a bead and put my string through the second bead over. Now I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. And I'm just tightening it as I go. Now I'm going to switch to the left-hand side string and add a bead there. And then I'll put the string through the second bead from the edge. Then I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Now I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Okay. And now I'm going to add a bead here. And then we're going to switch strings. And put the string back through that same bead going towards the inside. Now I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over, then I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. And now I'm going to switch to the string on the right hand side. And then I'm going to add a bead and put the string through the second bead from the edge. Add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Then we'll add a bead here. And we're going to switch strings. And we'll put the string back through that same bead, going towards the inside. Oh, our string's getting a little tangled. Let's try that again. There we go. Then I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Now I'm going to switch to the left-hand side string. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead from the edge. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. And then I'm going to add a bead here. And then I will switch to the other string and put it through that same bead going towards the inside. Now I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Now I'm going to switch to the right hand side string. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead from the edge. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Oh dear. The strings got a little crazy there. That's what happens when you use a long piece of string, folks. Alright, now we're gonna add on the last bead of this row. Switch to the other string. And put that string through the same bead you just added, going towards the inside. Now I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Now I'll switch to the left-hand side piece of string. Add a bead and put the string through the second bead from the edge. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Then we'll add on our edge bead. And switch to the other string. We'll put that string through the last bead we added, going towards the inside. Add a bead. Put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead. Put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead. Put the string through the second bead over. And now I'm going to switch to the right hand side string. Add a bead and put the string through the second bead from the edge. Add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, switch to the other string and put that string through the same bead, going towards the inside. We'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. Add a bead, put the string through the second bead over. All right. And so far, our tie is 10 beads long. So my tie, the original like prototype I made before I made the tutorial, it was 45 beads long in total. I made it 43 beads long before I started to taper it down into a point. But in case you want to make your tie shorter or longer than mine, you know, at whatever point you're done, then that's when we're going to taper it off. The way I figured out how long I wanted my tie to be is I kind of like did a little research on the dimensions of neckties. And normally the necktie stops like just above your belt buckle when you're wearing the outfit that you're planning to wear with it. So yeah, that's how long I made mine, is I had it, you know, I was wearing something that was kind of like at my waist and just like stopped right above where it was. But if you wanted to make yours, you know, if you want to measure yours that way, or if you want just like a little short tie or a ridiculously long one, whatever you want to do. But for me personally, I'm going to make mine 43 beads long down the side. And then at that point is where I'm going to show you how to make it go to a point at the bottom. So we're just going to chill together now while I make this thing 43 beads long. If you want to, you can probably skip ahead to the part where I show you the pointy bit at the end, but you know, if you want, you can hang out with me while we both make our ties long. I don't want to speed up the footage in case anyone needs to like watch what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Jeez. Mm. So once your tie is as long as you want it to be, not gonna lie guys, I am running out of string. I didn't make it all the way to 43, but I don't want to add more string, so I'm just gonna end it here. Anyway, I'm gonna show you how to make the point. So you're gonna need the tie to be as long as you would like it to be, and have, you know, both your strings on opposite sides. If they're on the same side right now, you probably just need to add another row and you'll be good to go. So we're gonna take the left hand side of string and put it through the second bead from the edge without adding any more beads on. Then I'm gonna add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Then I'll add a bead and put the string through the second bead over. Then I'm going to switch to the other string, put the string through the second bead over without adding any beads. And then also put the string through the third bead from the edge without adding any beads. And then we're gonna add one bead and then put the string through the second bead over. Okay. Then I'm gonna, with the same string, I'm gonna put it through the bead that I just added, going the opposite way. I'm gonna switch back to the other string. I'm gonna put it through the third bead over. And then I'm just gonna make sure it's nice and tight. And this, now that our strings are next to each other, this is where we're gonna tie it off. And then just cut the ends off. And I push the knot inside this bead right here. So now the tie has a little point at the end. So now that our tie has the little point at the end, we're going to make the second piece of the tie, which is this piece right here. And it's basically just a 12 bead long rectangle, the same width as the tie. So if you made your tie thicker, you'll want to make this piece thicker as well, and also make it a little bit longer. So like if you make your tie 2 beads wider, you'll want to make this piece also 2 beads wider and 2 beads longer. But I'm gonna make mine 12 by 7. So I'm gonna get a 5-foot piece of string, fold it in half, and hold the two ends together. And then we're gonna add 1 bead to each end. Then put the two ends together and add on 1 bead. Then we'll put 1 bead on each end. Then put the two ends together and put on 1 bead. Then 1 bead on each end. put the two ends together and put on one bead. And then put one bead on each end. Then we're going to pull all of these beads to the middle of the piece of string. And tighten those by pulling on them. And as you can see, this piece is 7 beads long. We're going to tie it in a double knot at the end. Then we're going to take one of the strings and put it through the edge bead closest to me. Add a bead. Put the string through the second bead over. Add another bead. And another one. Then we'll take the other string and put it through the edge bead across from us. And then through the edge bead closest to us, going towards the outside. And then we are going to make this piece, like I said, it's just like the big piece we just made, but we're only going to make it 12 beads long. And once we get to like 11 beads long, I'm going to show you kind of how to tie it off with the last row. So now we're at 11 rows long, 11 beads long. So the 12th row, I want to add it using half, like add half the row with one end of the string and half with the other end, and like tie it in the middle. So first I'm going to take the left hand side of string and add 2 beads on. Like 2 of the 4 beads of this row. And then I'm going to grab the right hand side of string and add the last 2 beads with that side. And then I'm just going to tie the strings off there. And now we're gonna lay this piece over the top front of the tie. Like this. We might need to move this actually. So I'm gonna get a piece of string that's just a few inches long, and I'm gonna put one end through the 4th bead down on this side, going towards the outside. And then I'm gonna put the other end through the 4th bead down on the other side, once again going towards the outside. And this is so that when we pull it tight, it's gonna cinch the tie like that. But first we're gonna put this piece under the tie. We're gonna take this end of the string and put it through the edge bead over here on this corner. Like that. And then we're gonna do the same on the other side. So it should look like that. And then we're just gonna basically pull everything tight and tie this piece of string. And see how it just kind of like cinched it up into a tie shape. And then we're gonna tie that. Also, with my black tie, I used black string, so you can't see the string as much. But with this tie, I chose to use white string because I wanted you guys to be able to see it. For the tutorial. But anyway, so now the front looks like this. And then now we just need to add the necklace to it. So we're gonna get a piece of string. Maybe like 3 feet long. And then we're just gonna add like a necklace to this tie with elastic so that we can just pull it over our head. Easy peasy. So I'm gonna take my string, fold it in half, And then I'm gonna put each end through these two middle beads right here that we had tied together to cinch the tie up. So one end through this one. And one end through the one right next to it. And you want to keep these even, so I'm going to pull them all the way through, keeping them even. Okay. Now I'm going to take this end and I'm just going to weave the string through all of the beads along this edge until it's coming out the top edge bead. And once it's coming out right here, that's when we'll add beads to it. Now we're going to do the same with the other end of string. Just thread it through all of the edge beads till we get to the top. So now it should look like that. So now we're just going to add beads to each end of the string until it's sitting about where you want it to, around your neck. My original tie that I made a prototype for this video, I think it's 45 beads around for the necklace part, but some of the beads are these little skulls and they're probably bigger than the pony beads, so I might need to make it a little bit longer. We'll start with 45 and go from there. Cool, so now I'm just gonna hold this up to myself and see if I like where it's sitting. Yeah, as I thought, I'm gonna need more. I'm gonna need some more beads because those those skull beads were a little bigger than the pony beads. Okay, I think that's about right. So once it's fitting how you would like, go ahead and tie it off. And cut the ends. And that's it. Our finished candy necktie. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun learning how to make a candy necktie. Don't forget you can post your creations on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram and tag me. I love to see what everybody has made. Let me know what tutorials you would like to see next. And until next time, peace, love, unity, and respect.